Hello everyone, welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, a blue dot in a red state, utilizing tarot to offer insight into these very interesting times we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here and welcome. The focus of today's reading is going to be NATO and these drones that Poland shot down that were Russian drones. So I've got some stuff pulled up here. They have invoked Section 4 of NATO, and what that means is this is a meeting, okay? Just a meeting to kind of, like, what are we going to do? What's the plan here? And this was a quote from someone, Bob Dean is part of a think tank in The Hague, said that this article of Article 4 was designated to promote better coordination and understanding within the alliance on external threats. It gives all allies the opportunity to urgently put certain threats or developments on the agenda of the North Atlantic Council. Okay, and then on September 11th, NATO allies, including Poland and Latvia, announced they were closing their airspace along the borders with Russia and Belarus. So what I want to know, I want to do a base reading into that meeting and just kind of get a base reading into like what all's going on with that, especially in Europe, and then USA's involvement, because part of me is almost like, can they trust the United States not to go tell everything to Russia? That's the feeling I'm getting with that. That's and once again, it's like, is that an intuitive moment, or is that like a common sense moment that I want to look into that? And then I also want to look at, from Russia's point of view, how are they viewing that meeting with NATO? Okay. So, as always, this is for entertainment purposes only. I want to look into the base reading into that meeting that they had with the NATO allies, including the United States. I did double check. And how sad is that I had to double check to make sure that, yes, in fact, the United States was on that call. So what do we need to know about NATO and that call? Okay, entertainment purposes only, and the deck I'm using today is Morgan Greer. I don't have that box anymore. That box is long gone, so I can't show you the box, but it is Morgan Greer. This is a meeting between friends, okay? A meeting, between the allies. That's right there, the Two of Cups. And the challenge is, what action are we going to take? So this was a pretty... not that the meeting wouldn't be a serious meeting, but this was much more than just talk. This was, what action are we going to take? Okay, and as I said, they've already announced, like the next day, they announced that the airspace was going to be closed along the borders with Russia and Belarus for Poland and Latvia. So they discussed it, and this is the action that we're going to take. The Queen of Pentacles. I'm going to keep going here with the Devil. Restrictions. This is going to be, what restrictions do we put on Putin? And honestly, the wealthy country, and can we trust, with these two cards, I'm getting strong, can we trust the United States vibes? Okay, because this is friend, false friend, offering something, emotional changes. This is also with the Queen of Pentacles. I see this as the wealthy woman. Queens are a lot of times countries, and we're this wealthy country, and we're supposed to be a friend of NATO, but this can also be like that false friend. I'm going to do more cards on that. So here, what are we going to do with Russia? This is the action that we're going to take, and I have a feeling like they laid out probably several things, and now I want to know about these cards here, which I was going to look into, the United States. That was a nice segue into the United States. So what do we need to know here about the United States with this? And I'm going to do a full spin on that. Okay, clarification on, let me think about this. Yeah, let me go ahead and do the full, United States. What is it that we need to know about the United States? Involvement with NATO. Okay, and the heart of that is the Ten of Pentacles. This is one of wealth, money, legacy, In the lower energy, it's going to be about taking what you want. And the challenge is the celebration. This could also be like the lies that people are telling about, security. So let me keep going here with this. Offering something, but this is not. I'm just looking here. Yeah, this is okay. The United States right now, I'm sorry, is at the whim of a madman sitting there in the White House. This is going to be like saying one thing. I'm almost getting this feeling of, well, if you want the United States involved, you're going to pay us. What are we going to get from this? And it's causing uneasiness. I was going to say this is usually the conflict card, but what I'm feeling with this is the uneasiness about going forward with the United States as an ally. That is what I'm feeling with this. Okay. So what is DonOLD going to do? Okay, and what's he going to do? Lie. I mean, did I even need cards for this? This is the fox is loose in the hen house. How can I abscond with, more stealing under the dark of night, even though the corruption they're doing is actually in broad daylight. And then this card, see all that yellow back there? It's like broad daylight, not even trying to hide it. The challenge is trying to appear as though we're a supportive ally, but I'm also seeing this as like NATO and Russia, and here we are, or here he is, he is playing both sides. Hopes, wishes, and dreams. He really is wanting to move the United States allegiance away from NATO and towards Russia. The problem is the American people know better. Yeah, the Tower card, this is going to blow up in his face. This does not bode well for him. The wealthy country, wealthy woman, I also see this as you're starting to see the rewards of your hard work. Okay. And with this, I think that the foundation here is this all blows up. However, NATO is actually able to keep it together. They're able to go forward even though the United States is kind of checked out at the moment and the oligarchs. This is also, if the United States, they will sell weapons, they're not going to donate weapons. Okay, Trump is extremely transactional. So whatever it is that the United States does, it has to be, I see him saying, it's got to be a good deal for him. Not the United States, but for him. What is he personally going to get out of it? And because he doesn't care about democracy. I'm well aware that they're, out there spewing, oh, we got to take down all the free speech, platforms. So, because freedom of speech just is, it's a bad thing, according to, MAGA, who doesn't want anybody calling them out on their lies and bullshit. So, let's see. Oh, I was wanting to do Russia's point of view. So real quick here from the United States point of view. Okay. From NATO's point of view, they have a plan. They've implemented, the first part of that plan, which is closing the airspace down. They're hesitant about what they're sharing with the United States. It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't. Honestly, I'm saying, they're all saying, okay, bye, United States, and then they're like, stay on the line and wait until they hang up, and then we'll have the serious meeting. I just get this feeling like they're not sharing everything with the United States because they know it's going to go back to Russia. And that DonOLD there is trying to play both sides. It's not so much, it's like he's pretending to be an ally to NATO, but he's absolutely reporting back to Russia with that. As far as our involvement in this, DonOLD is going to be, what can you give me? It's very transactional. It's not going to be a equal partner. It's going to be, he has to get some type of benefit from this, and the benefit will have to be more than what Putin is offering. That's the feeling I'm getting from that. So let's look into Putin's point of view of, what his plans are there in with Poland, and his motivation for releasing those drones. And I know it's been reported that, like testing to see what exactly would NATO do. And I completely agree with that. Like, that was like, yes, that's exactly what he's doing. So I kind of want to go beyond that. Like, what else can we expect with, like, from Russia's point of view? And, with the drones being released into Poland, what exactly, like, I just want to know more into that aspect of it. And I want to make sure I did say for entertainment purposes only. When I do readings, I usually do like 3 or 4 in a row. And it's like, what did I say? What did I do? Where am I? No, that kind of thing. So if I say it several times, that's why. Because I can't remember. I don't remember my readings. And I don't remember what I've said from reading to reading. So Russia's point of view. How are they feeling about NATO, specifically after that meeting that they had invoking Section 4? Okay, and with that, they're feeling, and remember, I got this with Don. It's like, what is Don telling us? Deep breath. The challenge is what is it that they want, and how is it that they're going to get it? Their challenge is their hopes, wishes, and dreams. What it is that what they want to achieve is a challenge, and what can they do to, basically lie, steal, manipulate to make this happen for themselves very quickly. That's just my quickly card. The heartache, the betrayal. This is coming from Russia's point of view. So let me keep going here. The recent influences. I am really getting this feeling of this is that Alaskans, I don't even want to call it a summit. It was a disaster. That whatever it was, now remember in that meeting in Alaska, it was reported that, all of them looked, ashen, like, Lion Caroline looked, just ashen. So whatever happened in that meeting, that's kind of where I'm feeling for this. It's like Vlad here, telling the United States, quickly, don't forget, I'm seeing this like, it's time to pay up. I was getting like this image of it's time to take your medicine and like you don't want to do it. So it's like, it's time to pay up. Trump knows that the American people, he is just getting killed in the polls when it comes to these polling numbers and what Americans think of, him trying to realign the United States with Russia. And it's like, it's not working. And he's vain enough to actually try to double cross Putin just for the poll numbers. But Putin, I think, has made it very clear that you, in fact, that it's almost like this feeling of Putin saying, I own you. And you will do what I say, and this is what I want, and I don't care what you have to do to make it happen quickly. Make this happen. So is Donald going to comply with Putin there? Because I was asking from Putin's point of view. The other thing I noticed here is that there's only one major arcana card here. So Putin really doesn't have a strong... they thought that this war would be over in 3 or 4 days, and it's been how many years now? So, it's not his hopes, wishes, and dreams are surrounded by the minor arcana. So he's not really in a strong position anyway. So is Donald going to, what's he going to do here with Putin? Slow and steady's the pace. I get this idea of slow walking it. He doesn't want to, the strong feeling I'm getting is that he's slow walking it because he doesn't, it's like he doesn't like to pay his debts. And he's like, well, I deserved all of this. You should have done this for me, and I don't owe you anything. That's the feeling I'm getting. And that Putin is like, oh, no, you will be doing this. And, once again, these are 2 cards of Slow and steady's the pace. This is one of, Hanged Man. This is one of, like, not a lot of, these are not fast moving cards. This is a fast moving card. Like, Putin has very much said, this is what you're going to do. I don't care whether or not you like it. And from Trump's point of view, he's like, I'm doing all I can. And the all he can is not moving fast enough for Putin. Okay. So is there going to be repercussions from this? And repercussions, I guess, towards, the United States, towards Trump. Things are up in the air. This is, and I have in the past got that Putin has a lot of dirt on Trump. And it's like, what should I release first? To kind of help there. And there he is. What should I do first? What should I release first? And this, once again, playing both sides. Trump is trying to appease. He's not doing a very good job. It's like he's trying to tell Putin just enough, and he's trying to do just enough with NATO, and there's not, it's like he really is trying to realign the United States with Russia. But Putin is like, it's not going fast enough. Like, you're not moving fast enough. I told you what would happen. And now I think that Putin might be getting ready to release some propaganda that isn't very flattering of DonOLD there. Okay. So is Russia going to escalate things further in Europe? Or, yeah. Is he going to escalate things further? It's becoming a burden. The world card, he feels like he's owed this. He feels like he deserves this, but it's becoming a burden. But it's for Russia. It's for the motherland as brand new. Like, he really thinks he's going to be putting the old USSR back together. That's what this is. And it's eluding him. It's becoming a burden. It's eluding him. It's taking more than what he thought it was going to take, and he doesn't care how he does it. Okay, these aren't real strong victory cards. I will say that, but it is absolutely his desire, which that's been reported. And so is he going to escalate? Yes, but I don't know that it's going to be, we're not looking at World War III yet. Okay, we still have a few moments, okay? So with that, I'm not getting a lot of action cards with Russia. I'm getting a lot more like pressure that he's putting on Trump, like to pay your debts, and he does not like to pay his debts. So, and the European allies, they know what to expect with Trump. They know how to manipulate him and expect more of that. Of course, that's not a Trudeau moment either. That is a common sense moment. So as far as a Trudeau moment or an intuitive moment, I do think that they have had talks without Trump, and that they're waiting to kind of see what is it. It's like I get this feeling like they've done something, they've said something that if Trump tells Putin, they'll know about it. Like, that's the feeling I'm getting with that piece of it. And that Russia is not, they're testing the waters. They're not going to escalate it quite yet because they're wanting to see, what United States, everybody's waiting to see what the United States commitment is. And the United States, unfortunately, at this point, as far as Trump is concerned, is loyal to one, himself. So that's, as far as being loyal to our allies, but I also don't see him being real loyal to Putin either. Like, he's doing just enough to kind of try to appease him, but that is wearing very thin, okay, with Putin. So that's what I'm getting today. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll put another reading up here for you to check out, especially if this is one of your first readings. Be sure to check out some of my other readings, and I will catch you on the next reading. Have a good day.